We will be covering part 2 of module 2. The name of the module is Human Resource Development. This is the disclaimer. This video is prepared for Institute of Distance and Open Learning. This video is going to cover performance appraisal, concept, benefits, limitations. We will also be covering a few methods through which employees can be appraised, and we'll be covering another concept related to performance appraisal, that is potential appraisal and its importance. Part 3 of this module will be covered in the subsequent video. Let us now discuss what is performance appraisal. Performance appraisal is a process of assessing qualitative and quantitative aspects of an employee's job performance. When an employee performs in his job, it is very important for us to give a feedback to the employee. And performance appraisal is the process of giving a feedback on the performance of the job to the employee. So we will try to assess the strengths and weaknesses of the employee. It's not that by doing performance appraisal we're going to remove the person from the job. There could be a lot of benefits of performance appraisal that we will have a look at. The first benefit of performance appraisal is that we would be in a position to provide a feedback to the employee. Performance appraisal provides performance feedback so that the employees can understand their own strengths and weaknesses. So they can work more on their strengths and overcome their weaknesses. Another benefit of performance appraisal is that performance appraisal enables the company to understand what kind of training and development needs the employee wants. Okay, so when we come to know that the employee is a little weak in a particular area, say soft skills, interpersonal skills, communication skills, so those skills can be identified through the performance appraisal, and accordingly training can be given to the employees. Performance appraisal forms a very important part as it motivates the employees. High performing employees may be given rewards, incentives, okay, and against that, non-performing employees can look at the incentives given to the performing employees and they also can be motivated. Another benefit of performance appraisal is that it leads to promotions and transfers. So when the company understands that the employee is good enough or the employee is currently a little dissatisfied with the department he's working in, so the company can work out on certain kind of promotion strategies as well as transfers. Performance appraisal helps in human resource planning. Accurate appraisal data regarding employees will be available with the companies. So when this data is available, the company can understand what kind of employees are available in the organization and what are the company's future requirements. So depending on the appraisal, we can understand the current skills of our employees and accordingly prepare them for the future. Next one, management labor relationship. Performance appraisal helps to maintain good labor relationship between the management and the labor. Okay, so performance appraisal creates a healthy atmosphere in the organization. Employees are motivated to perform and ineffective employees are encouraged to do away with their weaknesses through training and development. Definitely performance appraisal acts as a documentary evidence. What do I mean documentary evidence? Documentary evidence means I can have a proof of the employee's strengths or of the employee's weaknesses. In the future, I can use this document as a evidence to either give promotion or to terminate the employee. As we know, every coin has two sides. Let us now have a look at the limitations of performance appraisal. We all know that performance appraisal at the end are undertaken by human beings, and human beings are subjective in nature. There is always a benefit of doubt, a concept of bias, partiality that gets involved in the process of performance appraisal. So let's look into two effects. One is the horn effect and second one is the halo effect. Okay, halo is a positive effect, horn is a negative effect. So let's say I know of an employee who comes to the organization on time and leaves on time. So I will say that means he performs also very well. On the other hand, if I form an opinion about an employee that he doesn't dress very well. So if he doesn't dress very well, that means he is a non-performer. Okay, so these kind of halo and horn effect perceptions are formed while we undertake performance appraisal. Another one is central tendency. Central tendency means being neutral. Suppose the employee performs excellent or the employee doesn't perform at all, you would always rate him as an average. So on 10, you would always give him a 5. That is central tendency. Okay. Then another type of limitation that we see is either being too lenient or being too strict. What do I mean by being lenient? Arey chodna jane dena. This person is good by heart, so it's okay. Let me give that person a good performance appraisal. That is being lenient. Okay. What is being strict? I want that person to improve. So however great he performs, I will not do utna tarif. So that is being strict. Okay. Both are not correct. Okay. You have to give proper due for a performing employee and you may refrain from giving that proper due to an employee who does not perform. Okay. Latest behavior. There are a few managers who look into latest behavior. So what happens is probably an employee has dealt with a customer very, very badly in the recent past. But in that past 1 year, that employee has done so well. But still, his appraisal would not be marked as good because of his recent, latest wrong behavior. Okay. One more limitation of performance appraisal is that performance appraisal is also, associated with a spillover effect. What is the meaning of spillover effect? Spillover effect means that employee ने कभी तो कोई गलती किया है and that would affect his appraisals. So that is called as a spillover effect. And the last limitation of performance appraisal is the cost factor. Nothing comes for free. Everything comes with a cost. So people who do performance appraisal need to be paid. Okay, and this increases the cost of the company. So we have covered the benefits and limitations along with the concept of performance appraisal. The benefits of performance appraisal: performance feedback, training and development, motivation, promotion, transfer, human resource planning, management labor relationship, documentary evidence. What are the limitations of performance appraisal? Horn effect, halo effect, central tendency, lenience, strictness, latest behavior, spillover effect, and cost factor. Let us now look into the methods of performance appraisal. There are two methods of performance appraisal, that is traditional methods and modern methods. So what are the traditional methods? So what are these methods ideally? So they are the ways in which the company adopts techniques to appraise their employees. So there is a checklist method which is like a yes or no. So does the employee come on time? Is the employee qualitatively working, or how is the attitude towards his, does he have a positive attitude towards his work? So there would be checklist of yes or no where the boss has to read and tick. Okay, so this is a very traditional form here because there is no subjective explanation about the employee. The second one is confidential reports, where confidential reports are basically where the employees are given uh, uh, not given a feedback of their appraisal. They are confidential, so where the superior over here, he tries to prepare the strengths and weaknesses of the, you know, some kind of an report where which will ultimately not give a feedback of his performance to the employee. Okay, that is a confidential report. Next is a critical incident method. So what happens in critical incident method? The rater records the important incidents. Okay, so probably there would be a very important incident where there was a very difficult customer. So how that particular person handled that particular incident, critical incident. So that is called as critical incident method. The next method is ranking method. Now ranking methods, there are various methods to rank the employee. So simple ranking method, alternate ranking method, paired comparison method. So you start ranking the employees based on, so let's say if there are 3 employees, out of the 3 who is rank 1, rank 2, rank 3. So based, are you comparing it with 1 to 2 who is the best, 1 and 3 who is the best? So this is how you start ranking the employee. Next comes graphic rating scale. So graphic rating scale, what we do is we will have like 3 to 4 parameters and we will judge the employee on the basis of a rating scale. So it could be a 5-point rating scale, 3-point rating scale, a 4-point rating scale, let's say good, excellent, average, poor. And the parameters could be the quality of work, quantity of work, dependability. So based on this, we will, rate the employees. Next one is a narrative essay. So narrative essay is something where the rater or the superior writes an entire essay about the employee, and probably there could be suggestions written for the employee, but it's only about the perception of your boss that the narrative essay states. So there is always a way to do new things. So the traditional methods were less used, and there came a time where there were new methods adopted, and those are the modern methods. So the first modern method is role analysis. What is role analysis? Role analysis is the process of analyzing the role of a manager in relation to other roles of other managers. Okay, role analysis is where we will have role reversals, and then we will understand that how the employee will perform in such a particular situation. The next one is management by objective. What is MBO? MBO is a technique where superior and subordinate jointly set goals, they frame plans, they implement the plans, and they jointly review the performance. So this, what happens in this kind of appraisal called as MBO is that the superior constantly is working with the subordinate, and that's why the superior understands the potential of his subordinate. Okay, next one is human resource accounting. Now under human resource accounting, we are trying to analyze the cost incurred by the company on the employees and the value that the employee is giving to the organization. So if the value is more than the cost incurred, then the appraisal will be positive. Whereas if the value incurred is less and the cost is more, then it will be a negative appraisal. Okay, next is 360-degree appraisal. Very important part of the appraisal technique, that is the 360-degree appraisal. What is 360-degree appraisal? 360-degree appraisal means you will have superiors, subordinates, clients, colleagues, experts, all of these to assess your performance. The best thing about this is that your performance is not judged or evaluated by one individual. You have a number of different cadre or status of people reviewing your performance. So the level of bias and the level of partiality reduces in this. Okay, next one is assessment centers. What are assessment centers? Assessment centers is a technique where they use this at the time of promotion at higher levels. So they give us some kind of games, oral presentations, some kind of tests to judge the employee's performance. Last one is the bell-shaped curve method. There's a bell-shaped curve method that is adopted, and the employee is divided into 3 categories: low performer, average performer, and high performer. Okay, according to these 3 categories, the employees are categorized, and accordingly the company takes appropriate decision. So if there are poor performers, or low performers, they would probably be terminated or given VRS. Average performances would be given warnings. High performances would be given incentives. So since they are divided into 3 groups, and these 3 groups form the bell-shaped curve, that is why it is called as the bell-shaped curve method. So today, if you go to see, the companies usually adopt modern methods of performance appraisal. So what did we learn in this particular methods of performance appraisal? That the company can either adopt traditional methods or can adopt modern methods. Under traditional methods, the company can adopt checklist method, confidential report, critical incident method, ranking method, graphic rating scale, or narrative essay. Modern methods, the company can adopt role analysis, management by objectives, 360-degree appraisal, human resource accounting, assessment center, and bell-shaped curve method. Heading towards the last concept in this video, it is called as potential appraisal. What is potential appraisal? Potential appraisal is a future-oriented appraisal. The objective of this appraisal is to identify and evaluate the potential of employees so that they can get higher positions and responsibilities in the organization. It also refers to the identification of hidden talents and skills of an employee. So why is potential appraisal important? Potential appraisal is important because potential appraisal enables the employees to know their strengths and weaknesses. This gives a chance or opportunity to the employees to correct their weaknesses and consolidate their strengths. So what happens is, if a employee would have good managerial abilities, then the employee would get a chance to become a manager in the future. Another important aspect of potential appraisal is that it enables to identify the training needs. So for example, if there is a decrease in the productivity of an employee, then in such a case, the management can provide training to the employees to improve the skills and knowledge. Information about future prospects. Potential appraisal helps the organization to understand the future potential of employees. So what companies can do is they can arrange, and groom employees to take up future assignments. Potential appraisal gives a chance to the companies to retain competent employees. When we say competent employees, we mean those employees that are capable enough and they can be with the organization in the future. So when the management promises the competent employee for future career opportunities, what happens is the employees become loyal to the organization. Another importance of potential appraisal is that it helps the management to provide career development advices to the employees. Potential appraisal helps to identify the career potential of the employee and assist the employee to develop the career within the organization. So this is how the employee can develop new skills so that the employee can build up on his or her career. Potential employees definitely motivates the employees because the company is taking good care of these employees. The company is planning for retention, the company is planning for career development. Considering all this, the employees current performance also increases and the employee is motivated to perform better. Potential appraisal identifies the strengths of the weaknesses of the employees, due to which the company can easily give challenging projects to deserving employees. Such challenging projects can definitely empower the employees and create loyalty within them. Succession planning is, in case in the future, if there is a vacant position available, through potential appraisal, the candidate that could be eligible to fill that vacant position could be identified right away. So this ensures succession planning so that the position may not be vacant for a long period of time. Next is healthy work culture. A potential appraisal definitely gives a very healthy work culture because employees will respect the vision and the future that the company has built for the employees, and this develops cordial and healthy relations. A potential appraisal leads to providing good facilities to the employees, because when the employees conduct potential appraisal, it could be such a situation that the employees identify the lack of facilities that hinder the employees' performance, and then accordingly mapping the costs and the requirements, necessary facilities can be provided to the employees. Empowerment of employees. As discussed earlier, when employees get challenging tasks, employees feel empowered and they can perform better. With this, their confidence also is developed and they feel committed towards the organization. So in short, what is potential appraisal? Potential appraisal is future oriented appraisal, and it has all these importance that we have discussed in this slide. So what all did we cover in this particular? So we covered the main concept of performance appraisal, its benefits, its limitations. We covered the methods in which performance appraisal could be done, that is traditional and modern, and then we also covered a concept which is called as potential appraisal. Further topics will be continued in the third part of this video.